When dealing with systems, it's essential to understand where the boundaries are, what's part of the system, and what's part of the environment. And when you're dealing with multiple stakeholders, it's even more essential to understand where the boundaries are. And hopefully, this example will bring that home in terms of if it's an environment where there are implications associated with discharging people from the hospital before they should, and where one works, which stakeholder one is, provides a different perspective on what the system is. Those people that work within the hospital might consider the hospital capacity, the admissions to the hospital, and early discharge to be those elements that are relevant to the situation, and they consider this to be the system from their perspective. And while that's valid from their perspective, those members of the community think about the demand on hospital services and readmission to the hospital to be the elements that are relevant, and as such, they consider this to be the system. Those individuals associated with post-hospital services probably consider post-hospital capacity and the demand for post-hospital services to be the relevant elements, and they consider this the system. So if you look at them all together, the people in the hospital consider this to be the system and everything else is part of the environment. The community considers this to be the system and everything else is part of the environment. Post-hospital services people consider this to be the system and everything else is part of the environment. Though if the situation, the implications of early hospital discharge are to be addressed in a meaningful manner that has the hope of making tomorrow better than today, all of these stakeholders need to be involved. They need to be able to understand the perspective or the view of a system from different stakeholder perspectives, and realize that all of this together are the addressable elements that are part of the puzzle to be looked at, understood, with an intent of figuring out how to alter things so that when the changes are made, the benefit is to the entire system as opposed to a portion of the system. Akoff was very fond of saying one should never enhance any portion of the system unless it also enhances the whole. When usually what happens is individual stakeholders attempt to enhance their portion of the system, it has negative side effects on other stakeholders that are part of the system, and the overall operation of the system itself actually gets worse. So the best thing to do is to consider all of the relevant aspects, and if you're going to change something to improve a part of the system, make sure that it also improves all of the relevant interactions considered to be the system. And I hope this gives you a sense of why I repeatedly say that if you're communicating with someone and they say the system, your immediate response should be, what does that mean? You need to understand from their perspective what they consider to be the boundary, what's inside of that boundary that's part of the system, what's outside of that boundary that's part of the environment that interacts with what's inside of the boundary, and then you at least have a chance of communicating as opposed to talking past each other because you don't have a common understanding of what the system is that's being referred to. So I hope this gives you a sense of why I consider boundaries extremely relevant. See you in the next video. Bye.